and I mean, the challenge really is the idea that a memory-safe architecture makes certain assumptions about the infrastructure. And it's the infrastructure people, like DRM SCED as the example where it has become very public, it's the infrastructure people who seem to resist some of the changes.
To be fair, I mean, we've done a lot of changes to the C infrastructure too. The kind of code the kernel does is not normal C.
No.
It's not just that we write things in a certain way, it's also that we have a lot of tools on the C side that enforce infrastructure rules that are not part of the language. And part of it is our locking safety. We do have actually a lot of memory safety infrastructure on the C side that is not technically part of C itself. It's part of our infrastructure for the kernel, where we have debug builds that make the kernel go much slower, but it will test a lot more of the memory safety stuff. So on the C side, though, we have been able to kind of incrementally add it. And I mean, we have a lot of that kind of support, but we've had a long time to add it, and that kind of has allowed people to do it without the outcry. And the Rust change is obviously a much bigger and much more in-your-face thing.
And so you said that it's too early to say it's a failure, and I agree with that. But one of the things that I've seen lately is a certain amount of interest in bottoms-up, grown-up from the start Rust kernels as an alternative to Linux.
Yep.
So is that a potential outcome if we continue to see struggle to get Rust into Linux, that there will be something like Redux or Maestro or one of the other ones that is popping up, that we will have an alternative universe built around the different kernel?
I think that's regardless of the Linux use of Rust. I think if you're doing operating systems, you really don't have very many choices when it comes to languages, because you require a language that can deal with system issues. And that automatically means that your language choices are very limited. Unless you want to write an assembler, you're going to use C or one of the C-like languages, or you're likely going to use Rust. And I don't think, I mean, Linux is not everywhere. We're very widely spread, but after 3 decades, Linux is also very big, and we've always seen these embedded systems in particular who just want something smaller and simpler